Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Mantle Studios. Now in the last episode, I showed you guys how to make these sort of semi-authentic Warhammer Quest 1995 tiles. And then I also hinted at in the next video that I was going to show you how to make the modular wall tiles. Well, that's going to be this video, so let's check it out. All right, as always, I'm going to start with a piece of vellum tracing paper taped to a grid. Now, the reason I tape it to a grid is because I don't want to draw on graph paper, because that just makes it really messy to try to remove the lines in Photoshop. Whereas if I can just take the piece of tracing paper off, scan it, and put it into Photoshop, all I have is the artwork that I created. So, here's the deal. We're gonna make a modular wall. We're gonna make it for the first dungeon tiles that we actually started creating, which was the 20 by 20 foot square dungeon rooms. Now to do that, we'll mark off 20 feet, and we don't want it to go more than that high because you don't want it to sort of cover up gameplay. So we'll have the height of the wall go to about 75% of the width of the room. Once I have that marked out, then I have to create the tabs, because the tabs is how it's going to stand up. So I'm going to mark 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch and connect that line. Then I'm going to run a 45-degree angle. You don't have to do a 45-degree angle, you could just make flaps, it doesn't matter, it's just my own personal preference. Okay, so now I have the corners marked and the flap, now I can take it off of the paper. Okay, I'm just gonna finish these lines here. Now it's totally up to you what sort of wall you want to create. Do you want bricks? Do you want marble? Do you want dwarven cut stone? Well, this video is going to cover the standard brick dungeon, but let me know in the comments if you want any of those others. So the way we're going to do it, we're just going to hand draw it, because precision's okay, but this is DIY tabletop gaming, and there's no better way to do it than to just freehand and get the thing on the table so we can start playing. It's okay if you make the rough lines, like I said. Now the way I always do bricks is that I make a straight line, but I skip every other line. And then right around the center point of these rectangles, we draw another vertical line down every other line. Okay, we have that. Now, the thing is that we're gonna want sort of that irregular outline. So we'll darken the edge kind of where we want that outer contour. Okay, we've got that. Now the thing we can do, like we did in the last video, we have our texture. We can add some of that in if we want. Once we get some of these lines sort of drawn in loosely, we can go back and correct it. But it's amazing how realistic and how nice these things look, rather than just going from your imagination. And it doesn't really take any extra time. It actually speeds it up once you find the right image. Okay, that's ready to go. So we're gonna take our Sharpie and do the outline. We don't want the inside to be too dark, because I decided that's a little bold. So we'll take our regular Sharpie and do our outline. Now on the fold, I will use a straight edge, but you know, as far as like this outer sort of crumbly dungeon contour, we can do the regular Sharpie freehand. All right, so we have that. Now, ultrafine Sharpie. We'll go ahead and ink our bricks in. Use the same idea of irregularity and imperfection and hand-drawn. Now remember when I said that once we get to the inking phase, we can kind of figure out where we want those cracks and those holes to appear. So this is one of those instances. Okay, we've got our cracks, we've got our grout lines, we've got some holes. We'll add a couple more real quick. Now we'll get that scanned in and we'll hop over to Photoshop. All right, we've got it loaded into Photoshop. We're gonna first take the crop tool. We don't have to go all the way to the edge. And we'll go ahead and cut that and insert it into the next scene, which is an 8.5 by 11. And as usual, we'll go into levels and use our presets for dungeon tiles. Okay, let's set it to multiply and we're ready to go. So what we're going to do is decide what color we want. We'll go with a standard dungeon gray, get our paint bucket tool, boom. All right, then what we're going to do too is add a full block shape behind it so we can have a silhouette to cut around. We'll hide that for now. And we're gonna start with the airbrush. Okay, we're gonna take that base color, tone it down a little bit. We already have our opacity and flow set to pressure. So you know we're gonna get a very nice smooth transition from light to dark. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and go ahead and just get started sort of accentuating our accentuating our grout lines. All right, it's printed out, so let's just cut it out. I'll just do this little section by hand. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we'll score the top very lightly. That way it'll bend this way. Now to get these to bend the opposite direction, we have to go behind, line up these straight edges here, score those. And then we have those tabs. So all we have to do is grab a glue stick, let that dry for a little bit, and then we can cut the final contour. Whatever you do, make sure you don't get this tab. Give it a nice press, let it dry for a few minutes, and then we'll go back in and cut our contour. Okay, it's dry. So we're gonna take our X-Acto knife, boom. Okay, we've got our irregular edges, so as usual, we're going to take our chisel Sharpie and go ahead and go along the edges. All right, there you go. Ready for the table. All right, everyone, there you go. Modular dungeon walls. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.